I got 22 hours.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, good. We'll be here all night.
All night long.
I got my dick cut by my wife because I got caught cheating.
Is that true?
Yeah.
She cut his dick?
Lionel Richie was fucking some white girl and his wife came home and she took a knife and sliced his balls open.
What?
Yeah.
Yo.
Hello.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who's that one chick that cut off her husband's dick?
Lorena Bobbitt. And then they couldn't find it, which I was.
That's so
if I could be Eddie Murphy, look, if they couldn't find my dick, I wouldn't be telling nobody my dick got cut off.
Yeah, actually, though.
They couldn't
Didn't
find
she
it.
feed
They
it to the
reattached it.
dogs?
They reattached it?
No, she threw it on the side of the road. They reattached it.
Oh, my
He's
God.
a porn star and he's a really shitty guy.
It just cuts to a barbecue scene in a park the next day and someone's just grilling up his dick.
It's Sopranos.
Hot
yeah.
sausage.
That's right out of Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Yeah. it is. Oh, God.
Reek.
Oh, this, oh
And
boy.
Make sure you're
get that for you.
focused. No. This is all good.
Good to go?
Focused and we're
Good to go.
focused.
Awesome.
We're in
You guys like how you
focused
look?
and we're focused.
I love it.
Love it. Love it. Love it.
Welcome back to Secret Identity. I am your host, Troy Grayson, Mark Grayson. What's the dog name? Danger Dog. Bond.
Seance dog.
Seance Dog. Damn, I'm fucked up already. I've already been corrected.
Cut.
I've been caught. Anyway, I'm the host and co-creator of Secret Identity, along with my co-creator.
That's me. I'm Brent.
Mr. Brent Birnbaum, the gay best friend in Invincible.
Hi, guys.
And she's much more likable than Amber. In fact, she's lovable. It's Slater Harrison.
Yeah, what? Why'd you even compare me to that bitch?
The
You
Oracle.
remind me of Adam Eve.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a compliment, dude.
I
Yeah.
said we should do that for Halloween.
Oh, real? Oh, that's a great one.
Yeah. We win all the internet points.
do
Adam Eve one.
Mark, Adam Eve, and Seance Dog.
Yeah, you give me Seance Dog.
the
That is
dog?
great.
Aw.
I don't love that part in the season where he's like, Mark Grayson, you're in danger.
Did you see who voiced him?
Who was
Rob
it?
Delaney.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
That's why it was so funny.
So good. Invincible. So right here, I think there's 3 compendiums. This is number 1.
Oh.
When the first, would you spill all
Spilled
this?
water on me.
Squirted. Brent
French is
squirted
always
all
either his
over.
corduroys or his
It's
iron
like in a little like pouch too, so
I
it's like
know.
a pool.
He's got a wet little belly button.
Yeah. I want to jump in your hot tub.
This I read after watching the first season, which took everyone by storm. This came out the same time as The Boys, so like there was it's weird because there was superhero fatigue, and then there was 2 very successful shows out about superhero
Yeah,
fatigue.
also about an evil Superman.
Yeah, about an evil Superman, and then eventually was literally Donald Trump. That's who they've made it.
Superhero fatigue. I
Yeah.
just like pictured Superman like
Up, and I gotta stay.
I love that. We're all saying,
is one of the
great company.
When you look at them, it was just they wanted me to stop the plane. I said if I went through the plane, it would go halfway through. Okay, you look at them. I said that's diabolical. How about another bump?
Apparently, I'm not their best asset. Apparently, their best asset is Compound V. I've never heard of
That's
it.
what they like. I love a lot
V
more.
for vagina.
You need, yeah, you can grab.
Compound vagina.
That's a soundbite. And where that is more of a critical, angry pick apart of the genre, and it's also about real life. It's almost like real life events masked under superhero, whereas Invincible is generically superhero stuff with the whole plot being about Mark. Honestly, like Mark is Peter Parker, and it's his arc, and every superhero element is generic as hell. The Guardians of the Globe, the names of characters, Monster Girl,
my
Robot.
God. No,
so-
literally, I had a whole thing about that.
yeah, it's,
I wonder what the Immortals' powers are.
he's got to be able to fly. His head is chopped off. I think we'll be seeing him again.
He got decapitated
Again.
for the 5th
For
time.
the 5th time. Cecil's got some stuff underneath in that basement. Probably should get Immortal a turtleneck. But there's something about Invincible that people are so attracted to, and I was gonna ask you what you think it is. Like, why did this take off so much?
I think it's a great question. I think there are 2 things. One, And to contrast this with The Boys, because we've said this before, The Boys doesn't follow the comics at all.
No,
Boys
thank
TV
God.
show. Thank God, the Boys TV show is so much better than the comics.
Yeah.
This follows
Seth Rogen, both of these shows.
Seth Rogen,
Dude,
brilliant,
Seth Rogen's
brilliant guy.
fucking
Dude, the
MVP.
guy knows what he's
I
doing.
love him. If anything ever comes out about him bad, I'm not.
It wouldn't, because it
I'm
would
not
have when the
believing it.
Franco stuff did, and he
Yeah.
his way away from this.
Yeah, he
Seriously.
was like, bye.
But it's
Bye,
because
James.
the show follows the book so perfectly.
I
And
read
Vince-
the book after doing the last season, and I was like, oh, it's panel for panel.
It's panel for panel.
Yeah, and Robert Kirkman, who was also the creator of Walking Dead, those comics, the show veers away from the comics very quickly because of just the popularity of how that show took off. But like Robert Kirkman is truly one of the greats out of Image. I say there's the three greats. You got Liefeld, McFarlane, and Kirkman, and I love what he did with Invincible because it's a coming of age story. It's a generational trauma story. It's a what does it mean to be a hero story. It's a I had this greatness thrusted upon me and I don't want it story. And every character is a character. Eve is one of the most fleshed out characters I've ever seen in anything.
Yes.
Like what her arc is and where we're at so far. And I don't know anything past season 3 because I didn't want to read ahead yet. Eve is in my top 10, honestly. After like Scarlet Witch is out, Eve is in.
She's dope.
Adam Eve is
She's not in anything.
And
else.
that's the second reason.
No,
that's
just this.
That's the second reason I think why it resonated with so many people because Kirkman wrote it throughout. He didn't
Like Bendis.
He like Bendis, exactly. Like why we loved Ultimate Spider-Man. He never passed it on to anyone else. He wrote it this entire time. And I would argue, and I know people are going to give me crap for this. This is the best Image story. It's better than Spawn. And
By far.
And I've read a shit ton of Spawn. I've read like 150 issues of Spawn.
I've read maybe half of that.
Yeah, Spawn is great. It's not this though. This is
Sorry.
That was such an aggressive reaction. Like I felt that. I think a little piece of spit got on my face.
I felt
Spawn's a product of the
Passion.
90s.
Yes.
Like, yeah.
Images. Yeah. And it's also a product of you sort of, Image Comics was started by Todd. Did he start it?
So Image was started by Todd and a bunch of other writers, artists
Because they were tired of Marvel and DC owning their stuff. So they were like, the rule with Image is that's always yours. You're always going to own it. So now Robert Kirkman's really ranking it in because the show's on Amazon and that's his.
Dude,
So like he's set and that's where the
and a lot of people didn't have success at Image. Jim Lee and Rob Liefeld, who are two of the most successful like comic book artists and writers ever, found no success.
Yeah,
at Image.
because a lot of the time artists need a corporation or some type of entity to rein them in. And Image's problem was also why it was so great. Well, like,
Come on, dude.
There was Image, there was Dark
that's
Horse,
what we
there's
got.
a lot of...
All these geniuses. Image.
Image is a weird one.
That was like a board meeting that lasted 2 minutes and they're all hungover.
It doesn't necessarily inspire independence, Brian.
Yeah, just call it independence.
DC stands for Detective Comics.
Detective Comics, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's fucking lame.
Was it Action Comics first?
Oh, that's a great
Because
question.
I think Superman was Action.
Superman was Action Comics. I don't know if it was ever called Action Comics. It might have been.
Marvel was that Amazing Fantasy?
Marvel was Timely.
Timely, okay, yeah.
Oh, God.
I think this being introduced to the masses, because Slater's going to be talking about season 1, Brent's got season 2, I got season 3. It was so much fun watching season 1 with her because I forgot how perfect of a show this is. I remember when it first came out, I didn't go nowhere until I was done. I didn't know anything about it. The animation was unlike anything I've ever seen before. Season 1's when they had the porn animators in, and then season 2 you see the drop off and they make jokes about it. But like even you, like I was like the whole episode waiting to watch her see what happens to the Guardians.
Fucking talk about an opener.
Right. And a closer, the end with the train.
Exactly. I was like, bro. The most graphic,
you feel it,
fucking animated thing I've ever seen, and like I watched fucking Attack on Titan, dude, and I was like, this shit might have it beat because it's so brutal.
Goes out like a bitch.
Dog, he just fucking hits him. He whacked him like a snake.
I'm like, is this your king? This is your Batman?
I do love when Mark is like, so you're dressed like a bat and you're called, I mean, don't you think that's a little, there's like a panel where Mark meets Batman and you only see the cape So you don't see actual Batman.
No, he's like Batman mixed with like Silver Surfer.
Yeah, they're all supposed to be
mixed with like I know. It's like you get a generic brand of a cereal, and you're like, oh, it's not Frosted Flakes.
They're all Aussie Cola superheroes.
Like we get it. We see what you're doing. And then it's not Tony the Tiger.
Robot.
Like
I wonder what Robot's powers are.
Robot. He's a robot.
Yeah.
Rex Flode, I wonder what he does.
Like it's like almost like so childish within its naming of characters, but like then the level of violence is extremely
adult. The storytelling is so good that you forgive all of that stuff, and it becomes part of the charm.
Well, I think it's a freaking comedy, dude. The dialogue is hilarious.
It is funny.
Yeah,
I love. There's just one part like a lot of people call each other dicks in this. Yeah. Sorry.
No, what's his name?
But,
no, we can say dicks.
Yeah.
What's his name? Rex Flode says dick.
Yeah, of course we can. My favorite character is William.
Somebody say dick.
Also, I forgot about the Ezra Miller recast when I was watching season 3 too, because Ezra Miller was initially the guy who was
D.A. Sinclair.
Yeah, Sinclair, who was messing up everyone's heads, and then he went crazy, and they recasted him. Didn't really make much of a difference, honestly.
And the guy who he messes with is Justin Roiland.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. The drunk guy who he was like, my dad's like, he owns this whole wing of the building.
Oh,
and Justin Roiland's the Rick and Morty dude who got in all that trouble for the other.
That makes sense.
Wow, that's so funny.
That's nice.
I guess not funny as much as it is ironic, Brian. It's like Chris D'Elia in season 2 of Hugh.
He has a sick sense of humor.
You jumping into this, watching all of it. What was your first take and impression? Because you don't know the rest of the story, and you're going to hear us talk about it. So I want to harp on you.
I kind of butthurt about that.
I will say, after even hearing about it, it's still well worth it to watch the other 2 seasons.
Yeah,
because
it's like
phenomenal.
when you read it first and then watch it. So I'm just going to hear it
and
first.
how we describe it is not going to do justice.
Heard it here first.
Yeah, it's so good. What did you think of it?
I mean, I thought it was fucking dope.
Nice.
I've never heard of Invincible.
Yeah,
I've never been introduced to this character. I mean, I could say that with a lot of shit that we've read.
Yeah, but this is really.
But this one's like its own thing.
This is indie.
It's very So it's like I feel like it's like a new Spider-Man. Like it's just like a high schooler gets superpowers, blah blah. But the whole dynamic with the dad is like insane. Like the root of this is freaking daddy issues, and like. He's trying to train him, and then he you just get
what's 17 more years? That line always gets.
He's arguably the at least the most complicated character on the entire show. Yeah,
evil fucking dude I've ever come across in a comic, I think, to date.
But what they do with his character is amazing because he's not like Homelander. Because Homelander's deranged.
Him in the prison with Alan and like what they're doing, and he accepts his fate. He knows what he did.
Yeah, exactly.
And what's sad about it is Mark is constantly, it's like a Luke Vader thing. Mark is constantly trying not to be his dad, and is constantly put in positions where he kind of has to be his dad, and also. I think his name being Invincible is one of the most powerful things about it, because everyone loves to make jokes that, well, he gets his shit rocked kind of often. Yeah, and then it gets back up. Yeah. That's an invincible dude.
You get back up.
I get knocked down, but I get up again.
Hey, Chumbawamba. I'm tub-tubbing.
Frank's got my back. Any song reference, I know. I just look
you love the soundtrack in
I was
gonna
say,
season.
dude, and the soundtrack was great. I feel like they do that with the latest Spider-Man animated series.
Yeah,
that soundtrack was dope. I like the music supervisors for these shows are really stepping up their game. And you know what? It's crazy that I noticed in the first episode of the first season is that during that whole freaking Guardians of the Globe massacre, there's no music playing.
Yeah, nothing's playing.
And so you're just
hear
like
the body parts.
You just hear them going,
and the crunching and the
no music, no music.
You're doing stomp.
Get lights.
It's like this is what it sounds like when I masturbate.
Just a lot of juices.
There's a lot more crying.
And then
yeah, that's a very good point. That there's no music.
So you're like super.
Every
immersed.
action sequence has it.
Yeah, and that one is
that shot. As a viewer, you have no idea what the hell is going on with Omni-Man when he flies out of nowhere to do that. You're thinking, is he being controlled? Is he doing anything? And then in the book, the reveal happens pretty early on.
Yeah, but not the first. Not the first issue.
No,
yeah.
but I think it's revealed to us like episode 3 maybe in the season.
Well, like why he did it. You're told by the end.
Yeah,
like
but still, like to have that kind of come
Yeah.
full circle within only 8 episodes.
Yeah,
I know.
no,
When I
that's
found out Omni-Man was really Dick Whitman, I was like,
I was like,
"What?
that's crazy. Oh
Yo,
my god,
that's insane.
That's why he doesn't like talking about his past.
He made the Coca-Cola commercial.
with Kendall Jenner.
Lucky Strikes. They're toasted.
Oh, that was Pepsi.
Guardians of
That was
the
Pepsi brand.
Beat Guardians by
Pepsi,
the
Betty.
bowlful. Your paycheck is your reward.
I also love that his name's Omni-Man because Omni is like of all things.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, because he has every freaking power. He's just like,
Well,
he's,
there's Kid Omni-Man too. Who you never
Yeah.
met.
oh, really?
Yeah, he flies off
Omni
when he
boy?
leaves Earth. He goes to a planet of bugs and controls them and has a kid named Oliver. And he has to leave with the kid because the Viltromites come and hunt him down. And the kid's like half alien, half Viltromite. And Debbie now has to raise the kid
Little
from
Debbie.
this fuck that her husband left. She has to raise him, and I hated him at first, but I loved him by the end. And his name was Kid Omni-Man, and they were like, people probably not gonna want to see that symbol right now. Well, the O is for Oliver.
It means hope.
Yeah. On my planet, it means hope. He's a little purple
Superman.
kid. If you Google Kid Omni-Man, you see what he looks like. He's a cute little kid.
Why not Omni Kid? You know, they make it simple and then they make
I
it
like
hard.
Kid Omni. Well, there's
Yeah.
Kid Flash. You know, that's probably why.
Oh, well, okay. Well, that's
Yeah.
freaking lame.
Yeah.
But sure.
Take it up with Kirby. Anyway, what's
Shall we dive into the characters?
I want to hear your character reveals.
Let's
both of
do
you.
it.
Yeah.
First
I'm only
character.
season 3, so I'm gonna shut the fuck up. For a minute.
Let's. Oh, I love. Well, no, not. I don't love you shutting
No,
up.
I know
Want to
you
tag
both do.
team? How do you want to do this?
Yeah. Why don't you take us through who Mark
start with
Nolan
Mark.
and yeah. Why
Yeah.
you take us through Mark Nolan and Debbie?
Okay, yeah, I got the family. Yeah, feel
what
it
it's
in my
about.
plums. Okay, we got Mark Grayson, aka Invincible. We know that. Stephen Ewan, right?
Stephen Yeun.
Stephen Yeun.
Yeun.
Yeah.
Freaking love him.
Right?
Great.
Oh my gosh, he's
Yeah.
amazing. Obviously, I get The Walking Dead. Maybe
He
that's
did Walking
why
Dead and this one
That's
too.
why.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And
why
Nope
Robert
and-
probably was like, "I want you."
Yeah.
And Avatar 1 in The Legend of Korra.
He just got cast in
Wow.
there's an Avatar movie coming out that he just got cast in.
Oh, he's probably playing Juan because he originally played him in The Legend of Korra.
that would explain.
He's number one.
He was amazing.
So he voices Mark Grayson, high school kid who gets power
lovable.
from his dad, Omni-Man, and is trying to balance heroism and his hormones. Complicated.
Those are two things to get at once.
Yo, right? I thought
That's
puberty
rough.
was hard. That shit.
Yeah, puberty with Viltromite
Yeah,
power.
puberty is hard.
Yeah. So hard. Okay. Then we got Nolan Grayson, aka Omni-Man, voiced by J.K. Simmons. You were the one that told me that J.K. Simmons got jacked for the voice role.
The internet was like, why is he getting so jacked? There was so many speculations for all these movie things, and then it turned out it was for this.
I
He got
love
jacked
it.
to play
He gets
Omni-Man.
jacked in jail. Like if you saw him in Whiplash,
was
dude
jacked.
was like 60 years old and
Yeah.
fucking ripped.
I feel like he's just been jacked for the last 10 years
Yeah, he's
after all
probably
these
on that
roles.
maintenance.
Not quite his tempo.
Yeah. Are you rushing or are you dragging? So you know the difference.
Do you think he said that to Red Rush when he was killing him? Are you rushing or am I dragging you?
That's not exactly a superpower, Debbie.
Yo, that's what I was going to say about Red Rush freaking breaking his wrists.
Dude,
When he's like
him?
punching,
Yeah.
and then when he's dead, he's like, his little nerves are like
well, the
spazzing
forensic
out.
evidence I forgot about, and when Mark Hamill's character is telling him and how he figured out that it was Omni-Man who did it all, I thought that was a
When Mark
really incredible.
Hamill voices Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill only does one voice. He only does one voice.
He's such a great voice actor.
One of the best, Betsy.
I won't tell. I love Mark Hamill so much.
Jakku's pretty much from nowhere. It's time for the Jedi to end.
So Nolan Grayson,
Yeah.
Omni-Man,
Writer.
Mark's
Travel
dad,
writer.
most powerful superhero on Earth. Also seems like the most loving, caring dad. Before we get duped pretty quickly on, he's a Viltromite. Is that his
Yes.
name?
Yeah.
Warrior sent to conquer Earth. That just reminded me of fuck. What's Wonder Woman's origin place?
The mascara?
Yes. Why can I never get that
But they
through my
are
brain?
the people are Amazons.
I know, but I'm just like, I don't know. My brain just
But
doesn't
why did
go
that remind
there.
you? Oh, because Wonder Woman was sent to.
No, just Viltromite, and I was proud that
Oh.
I said it correctly.
Yeah.
All right.
Based off the Kryptonians.
Then we got Debbie Grayson, aka Bad Bitch, voiced by Sandra Oh.
Love
That
her.
is great. She's great.
Love
She's so
her.
great.
Such a good character.
Mark's
Yeah.
mom and Nolan's pet.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Ugh.
Yeah.
God.
How
He was-
unfortunate.
I want to be Nolan's pet.
Yeah, yeah. Brent's like, I'll be submissive.
Exactly.
I'll be your dog.
Put a collar.
At last, the Jedi are no more.
Oh my God. So Debbie Grayson, yeah, she gets duped, then she snooped,
Yeah.
and then she recoups, I suppose. Main objective, protect her son.
Yeah.
Invincible.
Yeah.
And that his main objective is looking after his
Take
mom.
Adam Eve too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Adam E. Not to be confused with Adam and E.
Well, her
It's
parents are
Adam-
named that, right? That's where it came from. Like
It's
her dad's
Adam,
name is Adam.
A-T-O-M.
Yeah, I
know,
think you're right. Yeah, I think
her
those
dad's
are,
name is
yeah.
Adam, and her
Yeah.
mom's name is Evelyn. So I
Yeah.
think that's where that came from. But yeah, it's Adam and Eve.
Yeah, what's her
obviously.
name actually? It's like Lizzie
I
McGuire.
forgot. They said it in the third season, and I was like, "Whoa!" I didn't even realize
Yeah.
that's not your name because they always just call her Eve.
That's not my name.
That's not my
That's
name.
not my name.
Voiced by Jillian Jacobs. I didn't realize the community girl.
Britta.
Crazy. Crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah, I
Britta,
didn't even
wow,
mean
you're the worst.
to do that. So she's like Mark's emotional support dog, basically, right?
So far
in
as you
season
know,
one.
yeah.
In season
Yeah.
one.
Dr.
But I
Manhattan,
could see where it's
basically.
going.
Yeah.
I could see where it's going. Her little uniform was wet in a couple of these episodes.
yeah,
Fellow
mine too.
superhero on the teen team manipulates matter while getting manipulated by men like Rexplode, who explodes with a duplicate in the shower. But we'll get there. Brent, I'll toss it over to you now.
Nice. Great job, Slater.
You like that?
Yeah.
I try to create some
Well
cool
done.
segues. I try to keep it fun, keep
Yeah.
it light.
Next, we have Oliver, who's Mark's half-brother, Nolan's second son. So the thing about Oliver is he's like, the Viltrumites are forbidden from...
Mating with anything other than Viltrumites.
yeah, or like
Mating.
people
Now
that
Nolan's
resemble...
done it twice.
Well, no, he was allowed to mate with the humans because they resemble Viltrumites.
Can we
the
stop
issue,
saying mate?
The issue with the Thraxans, I think they're called.
Thraxans, yeah.
is that they're just like these bug creatures.
Just reminded me of Liz when she was like, Liz Lemon when she was like, I hate the word love unless it's sandwiched in between the words meat and pizza.
Can a man love two foods, Lemon?
Can a man love two foods, Lemon? I find your voice both precocious. Mating is going to keep us monetized, so sorry.
We monetize with mates.
that was the rule. So he broke it with the Thraxans.
Right. So he was allowed to mate with Debbie because she resembles Viltrumite because she's a human, but he's not allowed. Like, and you'll see that later when Thrag comes
Yeah,
in.
yeah.
Like that's why like Earth will play a big role.
Yeah.
But the Thraxans are like these bug people, and that's why Craig is like saying to him like, "What the hell are you doing? You just like fuck this like centipede." Like,
When he
Crab
leaves,
people.
when he's crying and he's flying off Earth, that's the planet he goes to.
yeah.
The Flaxans?
The Thraxans.
Yeah.
The Flaxans are the Martians that.
And Oliver is displaying tendencies that are pretty similar to Omni-Man, which is worrisome.
What he did to the Mauler twins.
Oh.
That was, I rewound that like 10 times.
What the
I
fuck
could not
was
believe
that?
I was like,
Oh my
and then
God.
when what's his name had him over his head, I was like, they're not going to do this. are
Oh,
they?
Conquest?
I was like, they're going to rip a kid in half.
Yeah. Oh, I thought for sure he was going to die.
Yeah, I did too. And I was like, why did Debbie let him go?
That's why I'm glad I didn't read this comic ahead of time. I love
too.
the surprises.
Yeah, me too. It was great.
Oh, God.
Next up, William, who's Mark's gay best friend.
Andrew
That's
Reynolds, baby.
really just as Andrew Reynolds. I
Yeah.
love that.
And
He's great.
that's really all it is. But he has the connection with who's his boyfriend? That
Rick.
Yeah, who got
Yeah.
Rick Sheridan, who got all the stuff done.
That's my favorite. I'll get to that in season 2, but that's my favorite scene in all of season 2.
When Rick saves him.
When Donald is talking to Rick about what
about
makes someone
being
human.
that is. That's emotional. Yeah.
Next, I have Amber, Mark's first girlfriend.
Oh, the best character.
You
on
love
the show.
Amber. She's great. I do like Zazie Beetz.
Me too.
Yeah.
I hate this character
I
with
know.
a burning passion in the show.
She's just like one of those girls.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what do you, well, maybe it'll sound better coming from you. What do you mean by one of
Yeah.
those girls?
She's just like one of those like thinks that she's like cool shit and like says like things that like make her seem like, you know what I mean?
Is
like
that a
she's
pick- is
trying
that
to
a pick-me girl, or-
she's trying to be like cool girl,
Oh,
but
okay.
she's not. So it's like a force. So it's
Yeah.
cringy. And then she says things to be like, well, that's what I thought. Like she's being
Yeah.
all flirty, but she's
That's
just
for
being like,
losing.
Yeah.
like weird and like she's just like on a high horse all
She's
the
full
time.
of shit.
Yes.
Like and then like it's like condescending.
She's like
Yeah,
the white Lotus. She's
condescending.
like the White Lotus girl. Like pretends like she's like super into like Buddhism.
Yeah,
and like all this
like
stuff. And
she
she's just
doesn't know
spoiled.
who she
Yeah.
is. is, but she picks apart everybody else for who they are.
Okay.
I'm like, get your own identity,
and
bitch.
when Mark told her that he was invincible, she was like, I figured it out 3 weeks ago. Like,
She's
you
like,
were wrong for not being forgiving for him.
Yeah.
Like, you knew that.
She's a person who's always waiting to talk, and like she's always waiting for someone to be wrong and fuck up because she's
right. No April O'Neil.
Yeah.
No. Who was the protagonist?
She was the hero of the story. Frankly, that's my only complaint, is that we don't have enough one-armed mothers in this story passing the Bechdel test.
The women in this book are badass, though.
They are so cool.
Shrinking Grey, Monster Girl.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Sorry, you're going through a character.
No. It's a great point. Next up is arguably the coolest character of this fucking show, Cecil.
Oh,
Cecil.
My man Cecil's got the impossible job of knowing. Now he knows Omni-Man. Like, they always knew he's capable. Omni-Man just shows up one day and he doesn't. He's like, well, if he wants to help us, we'll let him. We'll try to find a contingency, but we don't really have any for him. And then his dynamic with Mark is so great. And Cecil has the impossible job of protecting the world and being unpopular with every decision he makes, but it's the one that has to be made.
We can either be the good guys or the guys who save the world. We can't be both.
The best. I loved his origin in this season.
So good.
They show you how his face got all messed up, and he's such a good character. And Goggins, baby.
Who doesn't love Walton Goggins?
Motherfucking Goggins.
He's having the time of his freaking life right now,
There's
dude.
a Walton Goggins renaissance happening right now between Fallout, White Lotus, and this.
He's fucking funny, too. You ever see Vice Principals?
Yes, and Righteous Gemstones.
Righteous Gemstones.
Yeah.
Baby Billy.
You gotta watch that. No.
No, you gotta watch that nasty ass shit. Yeah, I like that he has the same hairline as Cecil.
Yeah, that's true.
He was inspired.
Yeah. And my favorite dynamic is the one he has with Mark. Because Mark just is untrusting of him and won't work with him, but is there when he needs him. It's always there when you call, but I'm always on time.
He's always got bad news.
Bitch, I needed you and I called you.
It's also, it costs $7 billion. It costs
That's a callback.
That's a true believer callback. It costs $7 billion every time he teleports, and it does. They said it in the book, and I did the math, and it's like $367 billion he spends throughout the course of Invincible.
We'll put a tariff on it.
There's a tariff on it. We need it. We got to strengthen our military. We're going to bomb Yemen.
Sometimes
Let's call the Atlantic.
Shit, wrong group. I don't. That's just too fucking.
If you don't like that joke, fuck you.
It's too good.
What were you gonna say, Slater?
I don't know. I lost it.
Oh, sorry.
Next up, I have Cecil's number 2.
My man, grown-up Bobby Hill.
Truly my favorite character on the grown-up Bobby Hill.
Donald is he's your favorite on this show? I could see why.
He's such a legend. He's so fucking solid. And, like, even though he's not actually dead, his death scene in season 1...
It was an honor, sir.
Oh, my God. And Cecil, the honors all mine.
Because he doesn't know he's a robot by then. And
he thought he was dying.
Yeah, and once he figures it out, he makes... I don't think you ever see this in literature or in any movie or TV. He makes peace with knowing he's not fully human. And he, like you said, what he did with Rick. Yeah. To make him be like, hey, I know how you feel, and you're still a person.
It's not the body, it's the mind.
When they pull him out of the rubble in the 3rd season, and like he's all nothing and he's still ready to help. Like he's for a while I thought he was Cecil's lapdog, but like Cecil needs him, and Cecil knows he needs him, and Donald is the heart of that whole operation of the government, I think.
He totally is. That's what Omni-Man says to him before he dies. He goes, Cecil's lapdog, and he's like, I don't give a fuck. He goes, I'm going to save these people.
Yeah, and he did.
He did.
He saved everyone that's on the team out there. So good. Oh, love Donald.
Legend. I get goosebumps thinking about Donald. Oh, God. I actually thought his death, even though he didn't actually die, was the most emotional death on the show, more so than Rexplode.
Yeah, Rex's was crazy.
Fuck.
Sorry. Yeah, he Rexploded twice. Yeah.
Did he touch himself? When I think about you, really?
He ran out of things to blow up, and he lit his skeleton on fire and blew himself up because all the evil Invincibles were there to destroy the world.
And as he died,
and he let Robot and all them. He was like, he got them to safety.
It was cool.
It was very cool.
And as he died, he said X-97 did this better.
Yeah, he did.
That's amazing.
Oh my God!
It did.
And then when Rudy took his name, he said, "My name is now Rudy Skywalker."
Remember it.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll tell you about that one when we get to it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
this is
it's
gonna
like
be
Great character. He
Great
made me laugh so much.
excellent character. Basically, just
Backstory's
Jason
so tragic.
Mantzoukas.
Yes.
But I just kept thinking of Gambit's death when he died.
Yes, yeah, and he has a real that in the book they have a one-off of a bunch of different characters, and his is they tell you his origin. It's his family was very poor, and they essentially sold him to the government so they could do all these experiments on him that make him the way he is. So and the book tells you at the end of the book it says, so the next time you think Rex is being kind of a dick, maybe don't judge him a little. Maybe judge him a little less harshly. Yeah. And it made me look at him differently.
Yeah, I was just going to say, because he was kind of like a prick throughout the whole thing.
Yeah, there's not a lot of redeeming moments, but his ending was...
But the sacrifice, so it's about the last thing you did.
Yeah, you're almost as good as your last envelope. Who else we got?
Okay, Tony. Next up, we have Alan.
Alan.
The alien.
Alan the alien. Oh.
Seth Rogen.
Wait.
Yo, I love when they're fighting and he's like, "Are you using your timeout?"
Yeah. It's such a
so
great
funny.
fight scene. One of the best ever.
It's like, we get timeouts?
Yeah.
I don't make up the rules.
It's so good.
When he fights the Immortal too, it's
Yeah.
like, well, I don't
Oh
even
my
want to
God.
fight you.
It wasn't until I was watching it with Slater where I realized Nolan let Mark go because he knew that's who was coming. Otherwise, he wouldn't have let anyone else. If it was a Viltromite, Nolan wouldn't have let him go up there. But Alan the Alien, his arc is one of the greats too. And what he does with Nolan is so great. And him he can't die. And he keeps getting stronger.
His mentor is Optimus Prime,
Yeah.
Thaddeus.
It's so great. I love him. I love Alan.
He's great.
One of the best.
Next up,
I love when they cut when like there's a sex scene about to happen, and then they go, "We're gonna give Mark and Amber some privacy while we check in on Alan," and then it's a whole other show.
I think
It's Alan the
Sandstock
Alien.
said that.
Yeah. So whenever there's about to be a fucking thing that happens, like once a season, once in 2, once in 3, it'll happen in like 27 minutes. The Invincible show will stop, and then it becomes Alan the Alien, where
Stop.
it's his show and what he's doing.
Oh,
It's
so
was
well
awesome.
deserved.
yeah, it's so good.
Next up, we have the guy who truly is Mark's arch nemesis. So while the Viltrumites are the greatest threat to Mark, his arch nemesis is Angstrom Levi.
Angstrom.
Sterling K. Brown.
Why don't you tell us the origin of Angstrom real
So
quick?
Angstrom is a tragic character. He's in this world of multiversals. He is a multiverse character, but they do him very well. So he's a character who can traverse the multiverse, and in pretty much every multiverse, Mark joins Nolan and is evil.
Yeah.
And so he wants to kind of get the knowledge from all his other selves to create a utopia and save the world. And he works with the Mauler twins to create this tower. Invincible and Cecil try to stop him. They don't know what they're doing. And so the Mauler twins, instead of saying, hey, we're actually doing something good here, just try to kill Invincible. So he tries to save Mark. He really does something very
He's
altruistic.
telling them, I won't have my utopia built on blood.
And it destroys the machine. He combines with all of his alternate
all the
selves,
selves.
and he's totally disfigured. He
His
looks
head is all messed up.
disgusting.
Like Demi Moore.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
substance,
Like in
yeah.
the substance, he looks like
Yeah.
Demi Moore. Like
Oh,
when
ew.
she, it's
I don't need to see
he's
that again.
absolutely
Yeah.
disgusting. He's got like a brain coming
He's
out.
absolutely
No, he really
disgusting.
is.
It's
And-
very scary
Oh.
looking.
And he's his foil. And
And he blames Mark for ruining his life.
and I saw something and your eyes go off. It is the main Invincible is like the anomaly one. He's like one of the only ones that didn't turn with his head. Every other one immediately joined up with Omni-Man and became evil. They're all evil, and that's why Angstrom's creating this because
Evil!
you see what they do together, and together what they do is brutal. And when Mark is evil, it is brutal. What he did to, I mean, that's how Rexplode was the only one to kill one of the Invincibles. It was because Invincible had him, and then he's like, you're all out of shit to throw at me. And then Rexplode made his skeleton on fire.
I think Powerplex got him too.
Aaron Paul? Yeah.
I didn't realize that there's multiple Invincibles.
Yeah, Angstrom pulled them from different multiverses to get them to destroy.
Why do we always got to do a multiverse, though? Why can't we just have one fucking world?
This shit does
This
it well.
was done. Yeah,
this came first.
I'm with
I
you
agree,
where I don't
but-
like multiverse
Like,
for the sake of
come
multiverse, but
on.
this was done right. And then Angstrom banishes them. Well, that's for my story.
That's also kind of weird with the circle thing, because that's like a Doctor Strange move. That kind of pissed me off, too. Like the
That's
little
just a
portal.
portal.
Yeah, but like, come
That's how
on. They made
portals
it
have always
fly
looked.
with the little
I'll tell you,
sparks.
toilet paper has never changed once in my life.
Yeah.
Portals have never changed in my
true.
lifetime.
Yeah, but they do it kind of. They got a little flick
it's
of the
gotta
wrist
open.
action.
Take it up with Big Portal.
Whatever. Take it up with big portal.
Lastly, I just have the Guardians of the Globe. So I'm talking about the current ones, not the ones that got fucked up. But so it's like Rex, Immortal, Duplicate, Robot, Monster Girl.
What's her brother's name? Replipol?
Oh, yeah.
Are you fucking serious?
I'm trying to remember. It's something like that.
RuPaul.
Shave Smith,
It's just a
who's
drag
been
hero.
shorts.
I would love
Samson, who doesn't really do anything, and Shrinking
Oh,
Ray.
yeah, he lost his powers. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
did they get more, did they get better with the names?
Multi-Paul,
of these?
that was his
Multi-Paul,
name.
that's it.
What did you say? Did they get better with the names?
Multi-Paul.
No, they're always like this.
They're always just punished.
They're always
stuff.
like this.
I kind of
Yeah.
love it.
The
The only
elephant.
cool ones are the Viltromite names. Conquest, Thrag.
Craig.
That one with the ponytail.
Craig.
Yeah.
Craig.
Badass Craig.
Yeah, that's Craig.
I guess it is
He
Geggery.
just does- So you watched season 1, Slater. Why don't you tell us
Yeah.
what's in the Slater notes?
Yeah, well, I was just laughing at because you just had the new Guardians of the Globe and the ones that all just got annihilated in the first episode. I was laughing at because they are such like rip-offs of everyone else, like War Woman, that's Wonder
Yeah.
Woman, right? Green Ghost, Green Goblin, Martian
Well,
Man,
Green Goblin,
not Hunter, hold
famous
the
member of
Hunter.
the Justice League.
Yeah. He's a hero. He's
He's
green.
green. He's
But then
a villain.
There's Martian
afraid of
Man,
Yeah.
hold the Hunter. Aquarius is Aquaman. Immortal is
Reverse
kind of
Aquaman.
Wolverine, right?
What
and
did you
Immortal's like Wolverine, like the colors and the invincible
he looks like
aspect.
Vandal Savage, honestly.
I don't even know who that is.
Vandal Savage is the immortal DC villain, but he looks just like Immortal.
Yeah, I mean it's like
and he's
a
Abe Lincoln.
He's able.
It's just
yeah, that was great.
it's,
He is.
Yeah.
He's literally
I
Abe
know
Lincoln.
the statue, and he was sitting there, right?
Yeah, and throughout time he's been all these great people, which is very interesting.
Yeah, fucking.
Yeah.
Nah, I was gonna say something and get me canceled. All right, Darkwing. It's kind of like a combination. Well, the name's
he's
kind of like
Batman.
Yeah,
Night,
Darkwing's
Nightwing,
Batman, yeah.
but Batman. If they fucked, that's a kid.
Well, in the
That's
90s, there was a series where they did the crossovers, and they had a Wolverine Batman one, and it was called Dark Claw.
That's
It was
right.
Very good.
The Amalgam Universe.
Yeah.
Wow, I need a freaking encyclopedia.
You got two of them.
I know, but I know you guys get the chills when you talk about it, so I don't want to excite you too much.
We have to chill out.
We have
I think it is time for everybody to just chill out. I'm sorry, I'll let you go, Slater.
Oh my lord! All right, so season 1. I'll kind of break it down in order, but then I got some like notable mentions, and
Yeah, we can.
Some,
we can,
uh,
we can
some
table
of
it.
some of my favorite quotes.
I
'cause
love.
it was
I
just
love
so
hearing your
funny.
quotes.
Yeah.
There was just I don't know
It was
why I
very
made that my
funny.
thing now, but that's just who
I'm
I
glad
am.
it's your thing.
Mm-hmm.
Live, laugh, love.
So ew. Die, cry, hate.
Pie.
Just do the polar
They're
opposite.
bombs.
All right, yeah. So it starts with the episode we already touched on, so I won't get too into it. But the brutal
John
attack on the Guardians of the Globe, which is also another thing. I'm like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Right. Yeah.
Mark discovers his powers. I like the. There was like a episode connector between the first episode and
2,
episode.
where the garbage bag
The
falls in front of Buckingham
yeah.
Palace.
Do you want to do it?
No, you looked like you were looking for
I
help.
was gonna
Sorry.
say the garbage, the trash bag. That's how I was getting
That's
there.
how I
but
feel now,
you
my
know,
bad.
bury
Sorry.
the lead. Whatever. He's training with his dad. I like when they're training throughout this whole thing. Just the comical breaks in it because he's such an evil guy, and whether you know it or not, like in the training, he's an hilarious mentor.
Did you know it?
Like what?
That he was evil?
Omni-Man?
Until, well, I mean, at the end when he says what the Viltromite plan is and everything, but up until, I mean, you're suspicious of him when when Dark Blood's investigating him.
Last
we see it in
But I mean,
episode
did
one,
you
yeah.
think
killing
that
his
was on
son.
his own volition, or did you think he was mind controlled or something, or you immediately went, "Oh, this guy's evil"?
Oh no!
Because I thought my impression was, "Oh, it might have been mind control," until I saw what he was doing with Dark Blood. But you immediately clocked it.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
I was like,
okay.
this is a two-faced motherfucker.
Yeah.
I knew he was
Yeah.
evil because they said he must be controlled or something. Like,
Yeah.
Because it felt like that was such a misdirect. Like if he was actually being controlled. Like they
Yeah,
wouldn't have
yeah.
said
They
that.
want to just spoon feed it to
Yeah.
us like that.
Smart.
That'd be insulting. But he's just so funny when he's doing all the trainings because he's just, and then some of it really makes sense. Like he is kind of, there are like tiny moments of like a kind of fatherly son bond and like teaching moment and like love there almost, but it's really to his like point of wanting to, obviously
I'd say
conquer
he's the
Earth
only
and
thing
everything.
he cares about. Mark.
He doesn't
To
even
the
realize that
point
he
of conquering
cares
Earth.
about him.
Yeah,
Like-
when he's crying.
Yeah.
That's when he's figuring it out.
That was sad.
Yeah.
And he has a flashback at the baseball game. the
Yeah,
Little League,
and then he
And then
realizes
they have a
he's-
catch, and they,
Yeah,
and
and
they
he-
go into the cornfield.
Yeah,
There you
so-
go. Ease his pain. Go the distance.
and then there was a tornado coming, and he put his hand out and said no, and then
all
he
of a
cried
sudden-
and ran away.
And then
like-
JFK got shot.
Yeah, it was crazy.
God, Kevin Costner's the best.
One of the craziest ones. And Gary Oldman was there too, saying he was a patsy. But the baseball game thing I thought was a very interesting. To your point, like that was a great, like of all the memories you could have had in that moment, that was a really special one to think of. And you're seeing your son what you did, and then when he
Yeah.
said, "I would still have you, Dad," broke me.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this is a lot of daddy issues. But like he even just has like little nuggets of knowledge that he's dropping on him, and it was just funny to hear a training between superheroes because you don't really get like the intimate dynamic of a father-son teaching moment,
Right.
And many of the other stuff. Like I feel like people get their powers and they're trying to figure it out on their own, and it's a secret they can't tell anyone.
Or you'll
So
get a
it's like
Rocky montage.
watching like a shared. I'm gonna teach you how to do this thing.
And it's this, which knows
I'm gonna teach you how to kill the fucking world, son.
Yeah,
And when
exactly.
he's trying to hook up with Amber, and his dad's giving him advice.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
my God. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God.
It's so gross.
Because it's like why Sopranos. We were talking about this morning. It's so great because it's not even really a mob show. It's a show about family
Yeah.
coming in at the end and like all this. This is really great. And then it takes the twist of like, oh, he's there to destroy everything
Yeah,
on Earth. But like
yeah.
the family dynamics in this, Debbie, Mark, and Nolan, it's really it's the puberty and the powers and the confusion that ensues. Even when Debbie he's like, yeah, Dad, he went to a different dimension, and she's like, oh, so he'll be home later. Like,
Yeah.
loved
Yeah.
that, loved that.
So good.
Yeah, and he comes back with a beard.
Yeah.
Like, what's going
And
on out there?
the line that has a double meaning. You don't understand. This planet is not yours to conquer.
Yeah, I had that as a quote. God damn, you're taking all
I'm
my
gonna
things.
shut up now.
But yeah, he's like saying even a baby, when they're learning to walk, they need balance. But like now that you've been doing it so long, the balance comes naturally to you.
Oh, about flying?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
training in general, and like he drops the guy, and he's like, "Are you gonna get him?" And he's like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, in a second." Like, it was just like a nice comic relief for such a gruesome,
Yeah.
evil
One
undertone.
professional to
Yeah.
another. You go, the fall from here wouldn't
Yeah.
kill me.
Kill me. Nobody's gonna tell you nothing. I'm Julia Roberts' brother.
You got rules.
Omni-Man, he don't got no rules.
Well, that's the man I'm going to have to shave to learn the truth.
Another 17 years.
Have to shave?
I want to shave his mustache.
Oh, I was like, I don't know why I pictured. Never mind. Woo. Oh, Venus commercial sponsored by.
I'm your Venus.
I'm your Omni-Man.
You're my Omni.
Your
You're Omni.
desire. I love the Mahler twins in the first season.
All our twins are some of the
I
best
think
characters.
So good.
the whole I am the original.
Yeah.
Like I love that.
And they're both clones.
Yeah, and like it's just I don't know why it reminded me of Venom. Like Eddie, I am the original. Like, listen to
And they're
me,
both
Eddie.
geniuses, which is
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah, and it's funny throughout time you realize that neither one of them are the original.
No.
They just keep dying and reprinting.
Yeah, no, and that's why there's such like comic clarity. Like you get answers through the humor, which I thought was interesting.
And Robot being like, I don't understand why you two do this.
Yeah, and the dude who voices the robot is he was
Zachary Quinto.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was in a lot of
Trek.
American
In
Horror
American Horror
Story,
He was a doctor.
which makes so much
Spock.
sense. He's always such a disconnected character.
Not Wrath of Khan. Yeah,
Like he's always that guy always plays Spock, disconnected character. American Horror Story. I know you.
No,
guys
I
probably
watched
didn't
this-
watch
this
it.
season where he
very
was the doctor.
disconnected,
Yeah.
like, killer dude.
That was
with
with the
skin
asylum, right?
lamps. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's like very. He's
And
always
Robot's cold.
I'm like, this dude's got to be a serial killer in real
Yeah.
life. But anyway, I like when Debbie starts to catch on in the first season of her husband, and like just the little like hints that they drop. When they're like on their little they're re-sparking their love, and they go
Oh,
on the
yeah.
date, and she's like, God, this has been forever, or whatever, and like he's like, Yeah, no, that was only a few years ago. And she's like, that was our first date was 20 years ago, which shows you just how like not in tune he is with time.
That's a great point.
And how much it doesn't matter to him.
That's so true.
Yeah, and also it's just a funny double entendre of guys never knowing how long they date that woman. But like, so that had a lot of, you guys are questioning.
That's great. And I mean, he even tells Mark, like, everyone you know is going to be dead.
So like even, and at that point she's suspicious a little bit. So it just keeps like kind of confirming her intuition throughout it. And then I love the demon detective dude.
Dark Blood.
I love him
Clancy.
so
Clancy
much.
Brown.
I think he's so great. I love that
great.
the cold breath, he's near. It's like a Sixth Sense fucking thing. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
where is he?
I like what they did with him in season 3.
Like shit's about to go down.
Yeah.
Oh, he
Apparently,
comes
that's
back?
not in the comics.
It's down in the comments.
Yeah.
He's, I think, gonna. He serves a eviler guy.
Because they sent him back to hell.
Yeah, and
Voiced
the guy
by Bruce Campbell.
Yes,
Ash.
And my theory is they're gonna take they're gonna put the spirit into Conquest. That's what Dark Blood was telling him,
Interesting.
or the guy in the tomb.
Oh man, I just want to see Thrag.
Yeah, I know. I heard Thrag is a badass.
That's what people say. They
Yeah.
say he's the man.
I don't want to get ahead of myself. What else you got for
Thrag.
one?
Just the robot becoming
that
like
was
Rex in
interesting.
boy
Yeah.
form, and he's like, his name
That's
is like,
literal identity.
And
for him.
Yeah,
Mantzoukas is like, what? What? Why?
fuck my notes. You said most things that I was about to say. And it's just funny.
What did I say?
We
Sorry.
just
What did I say?
No, we just had too much of the same brain.
What did
and I'm
you
like,
say?
God damn it, we're making the same clips, Brian.
Brent's Mazooka's line overshadowed what we said. What were you gonna say?
No, nothing. It's fine. It's just weird that he becomes Rex's child form, right? Didn't he take his little
At 12,
DNA and
or 16.
because he's trying to like fuck Monster Girl, which is also kind of weird. Like I don't understand. But
I think it
love,
was a combination of that. I think he also wanted to like
Experience.
have the experience growing up. Yeah, exactly. Like,
Yeah.
he never really got that.
yeah, he's like his name's like like something
Rudy.
weird,
Rudy,
and then he's
yeah.
like, I prefer Rudy though, but
And
it's
then
a
he
long
takes Rex's
weird
name
name.
when Rex dies.
Oh, really? Does
Yeah.
he? Oh, that's
Really dumb.
cute.
It's really
he said dumb. I said cute. But yeah, fucking, I thought Titan was super underrated. His character was
Titan's
so
cool.
funny.
He's cool. They
That's a great
recast him in
So
season
funny.
3.
Funny? You thought he was funny?
I thought he was hilarious, dude. Every line he had was fucking gold. He delivered it so well. Like when he like paints Invincible on the rooftop, but like he didn't get all the letters, and then Invincible comes over and he's like, "Oh, you're missing a few letters." He's like, paint costs a lot. Like,
I love
he's
the
like,
running-
he's like, paint costs money, and you got a long ass name.
He has a running thing with Invincible where like he hates it when Invincible has to carry
And
him when
carry
he
him
flies.
flying, and he's
Invincible
like,
hates
this
it
is
too.
some
He's like,
bullshit.
And Invincible's like, this isn't fun for me either.
Mahershala Ali.
Yeah. And Titan's whole thing his arc is great. I love him.
Yeah,
how he planned all of that.
Yeah, I thought Titan was super underrated.
The robot voice
I
guy too.
also
is so
thought
fun.
Machine
Right,
Head.
Machine Head.
That was my next one. I thought that was gonna be.
What about him?
That was funny. No, Machine Head.
I know where you live.
Yeah, I know where your family lives.
I've
It's like
got a
Daft.
lot of money.
It's like if Daft Punk was talking through
Yes.
their
Yeah.
helmets. You know,
We're up all night to kill Omni.
it was made of Italian maple.
On the door.
Yeah, the door of the desk is
Yeah.
like also imported
Yeah.
Italian maple.
When he goes to jail, he's pissed that they don't know how to properly maintain a good computer server.
Yo, yeah. There's just, I thought Machine Head underrated.
Yeah.
Titan underrated. They were like honestly
Titans-
two of my favorites.
Good crime boss too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
and I
he-
love the lesson he taught Mark. He's like, here's what you don't see when you're up there flying.
Yeah, yeah. No, I also just thought of another Machine Head thing. I didn't even write it down, but something with the rock head shit. And
Yeah.
he was just like, oh yeah, somebody that's made of a skull rock. Like, he's like, cool, you fucking idiot. He's just such a shithead. It's so
he
funny.
had a cold ass threat where he was like, I'm gonna turn you into the gravel in my driveway. I was like, damn.
yeah.
And when Invincible got his shit rocked by Battle Beast, Battle Beast is a scary motherfucker.
Battle Beast is scary.
Remember that scene where the big ass tiger thing? And he
Yeah.
just pieced out because he was like, y'all ain't
The Waffle House guy.
Yeah, the Waffle House guy.
Yeah,
I gotta get my sweets on.
That's a great episode.
One of the best.
Oh yeah, this one reminded me of us three actually. There's a scene in season 1 where Mark's talking about Amber, and he's like, yeah, being a geek is cool now. What if she's in a comics? You ever think of that? You dick. Like
it's never true.
So good. He's got the best quotes. And then I liked when Mark and his dad are on the top of Everest and towards the end of it, and like there's a climber guy. Could you imagine getting the top of Everest Mountain? You see two superheroes. He's like, oh shit, what the fuck? Hilarious. Like there's so many just quick moments that are just like so fucking funny to me.
It's a really funny show.
It is hilarious. And then I just like Omni-Man doing like a exit when he's like talking to Darkblood. He's like, go fuck yourself, Darkblood.
Yeah, and he just leaves.
Yeah.
Dying at that. And then my last thing is actually kind of like just a question, and maybe it's answered in season 2 and 3. I don't know, because I'm thinking like how destructive Omni-Man is on his own. Mm-hmm. So like the whole Viltromite planet. Why don't they just destroy the universe in like 5 seconds together?
Well, they don't. They don't want to destroy it.
So
they want to roll it.
They have an empire. They want.
So that's why they're sending out individual ones after the little test that then they're like, you go here, you go here, whatever.
They're part of the Viltromite Empire.
Yeah.
That just reminded me of Seth Rogen's alien character too.
Wait, this
when he's
isn't
like, wait,
Earth?
this isn't Earth? Yeah. I'm like, that was like a dyslexic moment for me. So I really felt him.
If
for
life
that
gives
one.
you melons.
That was, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the Viltrumites want to. It's their. Nolan like kind of tells you half the truth when he reveals what the Viltrumites do, which is they go to planets that can't really fend for themselves, and they're the stronghold, but they're evil and they're strong, and you cannot defeat them. And why Alan, the alien, is so excited because he finds out that first of all, Viltrumite never leaves his post, and that's like a crazy thing. So they're like, there might be a fighting chance, and now there's a good Viltrumite, Invincible. Mm-hmm. Now there's 2 good ones. Oliver, if you think about it, and
Thaddeus.
Yes. Oh, that's right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I loved the Conquest monologue he said right before he was going to kill Mark. That was so great. That was a great bad guy moment. But that was a great characterization of season 1.
Yeah, no, it was good. I don't like the name Viltrumite. I think it's because it reminds me of like Vegemite. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, and he gave me a Viltrumite sandwich.
Yeah.
You come from the planet Viltrum.
He gave me a Viltrumite sandwich.
Superheroes with hats.
Me in the face 1,000,000 times. Island boy. Now I'm going into that. Jesus Christ.
I said, do you speak of Mark Grayson? We have fun on this show. Do you want to do 2, or do you have anything about 1 you wanted to add in? Any quotes or any?
No, I mean, I love a good bookend. So I like how the first episode was, showcasing how ruthless Omni-Man could be, and then ending it on, like he'll even do that to his own blood.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You knew the shoe was going to drop.
Yeah, like it dropped hard, man. The fact that like Invincible like can take the beating
probably
of
the strongest
a lifetime.
person.
I'm like, is that? But he's only half Viltrumite, so how can he just? He just can take it. Yeah. That's why he reminds me of Spider-Man.
Yeah,
so much.
same. He's a Peter Parker with his shit together.
Yeah.
It's like in Dragon Ball Z, the Saiyans that were actually combined with humans were actually more powerful. This is actually a normal pop culture reference. A lot of people have seen this show.
Who would win in a fight, Goku or Omni-Man?
I don't like that question.
Next.
Hame, who gives a shit?
How many
It's a classic show.
I know. It's up there with Lord of the Rings. What happened in
There is
season
no
2?
Attack on Titan without Dragon Ball Z paving the
No,
way.
there certainly
There's an attack
isn't.
on us.
Yeah.
By Troy.
Yeah.
Bullshit. All right, but yeah, that was basically my first season.
Well, get ready to have this other
And now
two
I'm
completely
gonna
spoiled.
leave.
Season-
What am I gonna join
Yeah,
in
a week and a
on?
half.
Season 2, Goku crashes on Earth in a rocket ship. He's adopted by Son Gohan. He battles Frieza and Cell. Yeah, we're doing Dragon Ball Z now.
Oh, wait, and then Lieutenant Hughes dies.
Oh.
Donald Duck was the same universe. That's all I think when you start yelling.
Yes, season 2.
Everyone dies. Slater, thank you. Oh, this is gonna
Season
be
2 hit hard.
Season 2 hit hard. I was critical of season 2 because
Most
of
people were.
because of how it was paced, and
The mid-season break pissed a lot of people off.
it was really, and honestly,
Brent.
He's like, I'm pissed now.
I just dropped a deuce.
That's a
That
hard
was Richard
poo.
Nixon, everybody.
I just dropped a deuce. The American people should know if their president poops on couches.
Sounded like a number 3.
I am not a poop.
My number 2, Spiro Agnew.
All right, so what the fuck happens in
shit talk.
season 2?
Season 2. Yeah, I was also very critical of this season because of the mid-season break, because of the wait. But upon rewatching, I was like, okay, this season's great.
Yeah.
It really is very good.
It's great for Mark's story. It's his Empire Strikes Back.
It really is. It's really where he starts to come into his own, because it's Mark really grappling with his identity and role as a hero in the wake of the revelation of his father's villainous actions and subsequent battle in Chicago. So he's working for Cecil in the GDA, and this is where we get one of my favorite scenes in the whole series, which is just like he's in such a malaise, like he's just going through the motions, stopping
Malaise.
crime, and he's just so out of it. He's a shell of himself, and they picked the perfect song. They're playing Karma Police by Radiohead in the background, and it's just like,
That's a fucking banger.
it's such a banger, and it fits it so perfectly because this is a guy whose world's been rocked. Is everything he knew.
The worst thing that could have happened.
The worst thing that could have happened.
And the world hates him pretty
And it was
much.
his idol who did it.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm looking up who the freaking music supervisor is to the series.
It
'cause
was
they need a
so
shout out.
good.
So they're killer.
And it's the only, instead of addressing his pain, he's really trying to bury it with his
Yeah, he doesn't address it.
Exactly, and this is kind of why Angstrom gets disfigured in what we just spoke about. And like, I think if Mark was better adjusted,
He was present in that moment.
if he was present in that moment, he could have listened to Angstrom and understood, hey, I'm not doing the right thing here. I'm
but
actually
is it
not
on
the
the
hero.
fault of Angstrom for her using the Mauler twins, knowing that they're evil?
To an extent, yeah, definitely.
But
yeah.
I do agree with you. I
Yeah.
agree with you. But like, if I'm Mark and I showed up and I saw the Mauler twins in a bunch of machines I didn't understand, and Cecil said the power was off the charts, you know, I would. You have to talk to him. You
Right.
can't just go punching.
Yeah, if you jump into the future and then all of a sudden, and during World War II, all of a sudden you see a bunch of Nazis working with the U.S. government, like you're going to be like, why?
That didn't happen.
Yeah, right?
Operation Paperclip.
Operation Paperclip. But yeah, that's true. I think that it's definitely partially on Angstrom, but it's also very much partially on Mark and
Cecil. Yeah.
definitely Cecil.
Yeah.
Like, 'cause
Cecil has an impossible job of keeping the Earth safe.
and Cecil told him to shut it down.
Yeah.
He's like,
yeah.
he goes, I don't know what's going on. I see the Mauler twins there. Shut it down.
Yeah, that's the right call. That's
Yeah.
why you're the director.
Exactly. You got to make the hard calls. And so it culminates in a battle at the end of the season following Angstrom's attack on Debbie and Oliver, where Mark mistakenly believes he killed
fucked them
Angstrom.
up when he broke her leg.
Oh my
and
God.
what he did to the baby. Oh my God. Yeah, it was rough. Look, oh, you're looking at the music supervisor.
And what's crazy about Angstrom's disfigurement is he gets so crazed because he's combined with all his self, so he doesn't know who's the real him. And so
Yeah.
when Mark is saying to him, like, hey, you weren't a bad guy. You tried to save me. Like, Angstrom's like, I would never do that. That can't be it. And then he realizes it's true, but he's hearing all these voices. It's really messed up.
What was your impression of Nolan on the planet with the Thraxans?
So yes, that was the other major moment is Mark discovers his father's alive and has seemingly become a new man on Thraxa. Despite his anger towards his father, he agrees to help him save Thraxa, but they are attacked by 3 Viltromites. It's a great scene. It's a great episode.
What was that? What was their reconciliation moment?
It's not so much a reconciliation, but it's kind of like Mark's like, I can't forgive you.
He got tricked into going there.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And then he was there and
By Seance Dog.
Yeah, Mark loves Seance Dog, and then Seance Dog appears and says, Mark Grayson, you need to come help. And then he goes to the Thraxan planet, and then Nolan had sent it and said, listen, the reason Mark helped him was because he appealed to Mark's empathy. He said, these people are going to die if we don't do something. The Viltromites are going to come, and then the Viltromites come, and that one with the ponytail, they
Bruh.
Dude, I'm not watching Nolan fight Viltromites. It was cool as hell because it's power for power. But like, there's not a single nematode Viltromite. They are
And the
some
way
bad
he's coaching
mofos.
Mark, he's like, you're
Yeah,
pulling
when-
your punches. Like,
Yeah, when they're fighting and
Yeah.
he's telling them because he's used to fighting people.
he's like, you got to fight to kill here.
Yeah.
And that it's so great. And they win, but one of them, I think it was Lucan, survives and ends up like fucking up Nolan and buys time until General Craig arrives.
Yes.
And Craig gives Mark probably the worst punishment he can get. He's like, hey, your dad, he's going to be tried for treason, so you got to do what he did. You got to take over the planet.
Yeah.
You got to make it right.
100 years?
He gave. I think he gave him like a year.
Oh shit! 'Cause
Yeah.
I remember at the end of season 1, there was like 100 years, and they gave me a year. That would explain why Conquest showed up if it was a year. Okay.
Yeah, and he's like, if you don't get this planet ready for the Viltromite invasion, we are going to murder
voiced
everyone.
him?
What?
Who voiced him?
Clancy Brown.
Because that was a bad moment, man. Oh, with his monocle and
Yeah.
just Viltromites is some shit.
And they send Anissa to Earth to monitor Mark's progress. And
She was a great character.
Fucks him up, but this is one thing I have learned. She's a very problematic character.
Why is that?
I'll try to figure out the best way to phrase this without hurting our monetization. But in the future, she tries to she doesn't want to procreate with humans, so she tries to procreate with Mark and does against his consent.
Oh, so she Talia Ali's him.
Yeah. Yes.
What?
She forces herself on Mark. It's a very graphic essay scene. Like,
What?
and like,
That's how Talia Ali got herself pregnant with Bruce Wayne
In
originally.
and Eve is not happy
Well,
when
yeah,
she
it
finds out.
Oh, he's with Eve when it happens?
Well,
Wait, did you not see
No, I know
this?
Eve. He ends up together with Eve in season 3.
It's like when he's with Eve, and like Eve eventually finds out what she did, and so does Nolan, and they're both like, she gonna die.
Oh,
She gonna die today.
shit. The woman who played Supergirl in the Flash movie would be a good Anissa.
Yeah, she would be
remind me a lot
good.
of her.
Great, good actress wasted in a bad movie.
Yes. Yeah. Let's not think about the Flash movie.
And then the other big moments is Alan is captured by the Viltromites, so he can be locked up in the same prison as Nolan and gain him as an ally at the behest of this guy Thaddeus, who's the leader of the coalition, who's opposed.
a Viltrumite, right?
Yeah, we learn he's a Viltromite.
He's the coalition trying to take down the Viltromite Empire, and he pulls the plug on Alan, and then you're like, what the fuck? And then he does it to see if he could survive, and he's stronger. And then Alan,
Because he's like a Saiyan in Dragon Ball Z.
yeah, Kamehameha, don't care. When so now his job is he's trying to get Nolan. Nolan's accepted his fate and is just sitting in the prison. He's like, I deserve to die. And Alan can telepathically talk to him. He's like, dude, it's funny because they keep trying to kill him, but they can't because he's invincible, and they're breaking machines when they're trying to kill him. So he keeps trying to tell Nolan like, hey, let's go. There's like this is the plan. We're good to go. And Nolan totally accepts his fate. And even when Alan breaks out, he's like, what are you doing? I told you to get out of here. Like he does change. Doesn't make up for what he did in Chicago.
Yeah.
But he does change. He
Because he views it like what he did, and he knows what he did in Chicago was horrific. He views it like he was a soldier.
Yes.
Like he was like
Taking
what they said-
orders.
you say, yeah. And again,
his,
as Magneto said, I've been at the mercy of men just following orders, never again.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I was thinking of the Tony Soprano quote where he's justifying killing people. He goes, I'm a soldier. Soldiers don't go to hell. You know, that's what Nolan's thinking. He's serving the Empire, but now he's left his post. So now he knows he's fucked. And what does he really have at this point? I think that's why he was so resigned. He was like, okay, I lost that.
Another example of why Tony is so fucking evil.
Yeah, no, I'm watching it
Yeah,
now,
no
and I'm like,
one's-
I'm starting to think Tony Soprano's a bad guy.
Yeah, it just took you 30 fucking rewatches.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, I thought he was a cool guy. Yeah. Friends, family, no one's safe, and he does it. I feel like I guess it is kind of a switch in your brain. Like, I mean, if you think about it from like the soldier aspect, where you kind of just turn off any of that. But in a war, I feel like it's probably easier because you don't know those people.
Well, as a soldier, yes, but he's a conqueror.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. He's trying to
And he views them as
Napoleon his way.
pets. Like, he doesn't view them as actual, like,
Exactly.
people.
That's
Yeah.
why I think he's he's not even a soldier. He's too disconnected to even be humanized in any regard.
Yeah, you can
Like,
compare him to a Napoleon, to
Yeah.
a Columbus, to a Magellan.
but even
you know?
Napoleon had his.
But he's a lieutenant
girl.
also. He's not even running the Viltromite, like, empire.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, it's
It's the betrayal, I think, that
of
you
the
can
empire
betray.
or of humans.
Well, I guess he's not human, so it's really not even his own kind.
But he
he's
got
the-
them
yeah.
to trust him.
He's got
Yeah.
that great moment in the prison in season 2 when he's talking to Alan, and he's like, I miss my wife.
Yeah, I think I missed my wife.
Yeah.
That was beautiful. Yeah.
He's realizing that. yeah.
Beautiful.
Mark taught him.
Yeah, no, because he was so, it was like you said, he was so detached. It's
Yeah.
like, wow, like the humanity's actually rubbed off on him.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
left field moment to hear a character like that show him.
You would never see Homelander do that.
Yeah, no. You'd
It's
just be
just-
like, "Where's my breast milk?"
It's just so funny that the bar is so low.
Yeah, well, we're not talking about that. It's just the character shift.
No, I know.
But the
that.
bar's on the floor.
Yeah,
Yes,
like
exactly.
he's not
He's
limbo.
a bad dude.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
Omni-Man
yeah.
is not a good guy.
You know what? It's because I didn't see the second and third, so like I just see him still as the evil. So like
He
even
still is.
I
Yeah.
still don't. I just don't even have.
No,
any,
he didn't do anything redemption.
I have no remorse.
Yeah.
He
Him
gave Mark a kid for his
Him
wife
fucking
to
a
raise.
praying mantis doesn't make.
He fucked a praying mantis and now is making his pet wife raise it.
Yeah,
Ugh.
seriously.
Ugh.
Season 3.
My turn. All right.
Let's do it.
I call this season brutal. This is a brutal, brilliant return, and also
Brutal!
the animations. It's brutal. You know the joke they had in season 2 where Mark meets the creator of Seance Dog, and they're talking about animation and how they cut corners, and sometimes you won't see the character's mouth.
Yeah.
And that's how they save money. That was the writers going wink, wink, because they had to cut a lot of money for animation. Because, like we said, they were like, we have a choice of a great cast or a great animation, and I'm glad they picked the cast. But season 3 of Invincible picks up right where we left off. There's no filler. There's not a filler episode. It is just straight fire every single episode.
Pure gas.
We were coming back from Toronto when I was watching the first 2 episodes, and I was like, I almost wanted to take my headphones out and be like, yo, everybody needs to be watching this show. It was that good.
You watched that on a plane?
I watched the first 2
You
episodes
freaking
coming back from
destroyed some
Toronto.
people's lives.
After
Yeah.
fucking crushing in front of a theater.
Yeah, dog. I never have a video of it because I had Joey set up the camera. After this emotional fallout he had with Omni-Man's betrayal, Mark is trying to put his life and the world back together, just like Eve with the Chicago benefit and her doing that. However, season 2 packed an emotional punch. I think season 3 broke the scale.
Yeah.
Mark's evolution in this season is the heart of the story, because he's not the rookie kid. Oliver comes in now. We see the difference of he's not the he's stepping into his power. He's stepping into adulthood, and he's still haunted by his father's legacy. And he kind of tells himself that he shouldn't be because he's a grown man, but he still very much is. And one of the season's most compelling threads is Oliver, is Kid Omni-Man, and the relationship Mark has with him, because he grows up. The Thraxans, who Nolan had a baby with, they have a fast lifespan. They grow up fast. So he's a baby in season 2. By season 3, he's like 9-10 years old.
It's like kids today.
Yeah, kids today growing up fast. And he has Viltromite powers. And watching Mark try to be a mentor while fighting his own demons and literal threats to the galaxy is it's layered when you see Cecil thrown into it, because like his father, he doesn't want to work with Cecil, and he has his reasons, and I agree with Mark. I don't think I would either.
Because of the Darkwing 2 issue.
Because of the
D.A.
Darkwing
Sinclair.
2. Yeah. Well, so when Darkwing died, his Robin takes over as Darkwing, and he kills people. He's a murderer, and Mark is sent into the shadow dimension to get him, and then Cecil rehabilitates him and lets him be one of the Guardians. And Mark is like, he's a fucking killer. That's not right. And Mark is tortured because he killed Angstrom Levy. He didn't mean to, and he's just like, I thought you were stronger. And he's haunted by this. He's haunted by the fact that he killed. Now he's his dad, but Angstrom didn't die. Reaches in, but no, he didn't die. You see, he went to another portal and he got rehabilitated.
Yes.
It's Nick Cage.
Oh my God.
I'm good friends
What?
with Roman Polanski.
Yeah, no, that's not true.
Yeah, it's very true.
When Mark's training Oliver, is he? You want to get that out? I feel like you're.
I just ran into him in Paris by accident. Sorry. All right.
No, I need
It's the fact that you took a flight there in the first place. It's not exactly on the way to Tacoma.
I like cheese.
That's a layover.
Yes.
In Mark's training of Oliver, is there any tactics that replicate or kind of illuminate how his dad was with him? Just
Honestly,
curious.
I would say his mother trained him more than Mark did. Oliver's mentality is, we got to kill this guy. He's going to kill more people. We got to, he has more Omni-Man in him, and he doesn't understand why he can't just kill a human until his mother goes, well, I'm a human. If someone killed me, how would that make you feel? And he went, that make me really sad. And she raised him. That's not her kid. And she's the heart. And Mark is really trying to, because he knows what Oliver could be capable of. But Mark is also very scared that he's going to drop the ball. He's not ready to train it. He's like Obi-Wan training Anakin. You know, he's not ready for this. And
how old was Obi-Wan? Like 19?
Obi-Wan was 19 and he just got passed in the trials. And Mark is around the same age, 22, 23. He doesn't really, it's not like Omni-Man in Mark's training. It's more or less Kid Oliver, Omni-Man shows up and Mark has to go, don't do, why did you do that? And at one point he kills the Mauler twins, Kid Omni-Man.
Both of them.
He kills both of them.
They ain't coming back.
Yeah, and Mark is just like,
more original.
Yeah, and he's like, Mark is, he's terrified. He's like, oh my God, what just happened? This is my fault. He is dad. We're not. And then he's like, am I going to cross that line again? Because again, he's haunted that he killed Angstrom Levy. But like, there's no, the best arcs with Oliver come with his mother. At the end, there's a Viltromite that comes named Conquest, voiced by Jeffrey Dean Morgan, and Conquest is bad.
He's there to conquer that bad.
Yeah, he is, and he's there because the year deadline has hit. What had just happened that had made New York all kind of like it was battle?
So there were
damage.
two big moments that happened before that. There's the Powerplex episode.
Oh, Powerplex! Can you talk about Powerplex? Aaron Paul is destined to never play a happy character in his life ever, and tell us about Powerplex.
Sure. This is my second favorite episode of the show after the finale of season 1, where Mark fights Nolan, and it's amazing because the two episodes are so linked. So basically, remember in season 1 when Mark is fighting Nolan in Chicago, and it's Chicago's just getting decimated.
Train.
Exactly. You start seeing the fight from just a civilian's perspective. This guy, I forgot his name, but he goes by Powerplex eventually.
It's Aaron Paul.
It's Aaron Paul. He's just visiting his sister and his niece. And
Way to just drop in and give the best voice performance of all time.
Aaron Paul is slept on sometimes.
Absolutely
bro.
channeling Jesse Pinkman here.
The title card intro thing with him because it was the best.
So epic.
Keep going.
It's so good. And so you see, like, he's visiting his sister and his aunt. They get killed by Omni-Man while in Chicago during the fight. He's broken.
Oh,
by
they're
this.
doing a flashback sitch?
It's a flashback
to season 1.
To season 1.
Love
during that fight,
Wait, was it? It wasn't the mom and child in the building and her arm.
Yeah,
it was them.
It was them.
Yo, because that shit sat with me. I meant to talk about that.
That's exactly who it was.
Oh my God, I love that they did that. Oh, continue. Now I have chills.
As a result, he's completely broken, and he's a new dad. He's got a wife.
Before you tell that, can I show her the title card?
Yeah.
Because it's the best part.
Oh my God.
This is him.
He can't keep getting away with this.
This is about the thousands of people murdered and the countless other lives destroyed. Why is above the law? Why does never pay for his crimes? Where is it where people are trying to put their world back together?
Okay, buddy, we hear you. So, what do you want?
What do I want? I want
Meth.
I want the truth.
Nice fake out.
Yeah.
I want.
Wow. Dude, that is literally Jesse Pinkman talking about Walter White.
It's Jesse Pinkman.
Like,
100%.
Like the same exact
It's so
scenario.
freaking good.
And he's a sad, tragic character. Go on.
Yeah, and you kind of understand. He's basically saying, he's like, why isn't Invincible like why isn't he held accountable for his actions? And we know what Omni-Man did, but Invincible was also part of that fight, and his wife is like Lady Macbeth. She's like egging him on. She's like, yeah, no, you got to go after Invincible. You got to pretend like you kidnapped me and our son to kind of drive Invincible.
Can I talk about his suit?
Yes.
He creates this suit because he realizes he can't fight Invincible, so he creates this suit that has these little metal, they're like the size of smoke detectors. They go in them and they radiate electricity, but they only get more powerful when you get hit. So if Invincible hits him, then he's got all this charge.
And it keeps
and
growing.
then that's where the tragedy happens a second time with his wife and kid.
Because he's fighting Invincible and he's trying to electrocute him, and then one of the lightning bolts kills his wife and kid. And instead of taking accountability, he's like, you did this. Not only did you kill my sister and niece, now you killed my wife and kid. And he just goes insane. And Invincible eventually stops him and feels terrible for him, but it really rattles Mark. So that was one thing. And then the second was the Invincible War.
Aaron Paul always loses the girl. Man.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, he's
shit.
destined to be depressed forever. I wanted to talk about the Invincible War with you because so Angstrom has been working with these beings from another dimension to repair him and make him, not only is he the smartest person in the multiverse, but he can open portals. So he gathers up all these evil marks from different multiverses and tells them to go and wreak havoc on Earth, so everybody on Earth will hate Mark. And they're like, what do we get out of this? And he's like, I'll give you whatever dimension you want. So they go and they do that, and then Angstrom just he negs on the deal. He sends them all to his own.
Oh, what a piece of shit.
And
He's a piece of shit.
yeah, he is. He really is.
Wow.
But the what did you have to add for Invincible War?
No,
There's so
that's
much.
exactly- yeah,
It was
yeah.
great. I mean, we both said
It was underwhelming, yeah.
Because the animation wasn't as bad as 2 in this one, but like we were like, oh well, they're holding out for Invincible War,
And
then
no
when
Spawn.
no Spawn.
Yeah.
But like when Invincible War happened, I was like, oh okay. All right, sure.
Yeah.
And then the day you watched all the episodes and then went to go host Broadway, I watched the finale, and I don't think I've cried more at an animation thing than I did at the finale of this. I thought, and I'm not missing anything before I get to the Conquest fight, right?
No, you nailed it.
Let me see. I just want to see if I missed any. Okay, and the Nolan, we talked about Nolan and Allen. We're good. Okay, so the biggest threat we've seen so far is Conquest. He's like Battle Beast. He loves to fight, and he doesn't have an arm. And it's like a metal arm. That shows you right there. He doesn't have an
How
arm.
does he use the diapers?
he has
That's a hard callback.
April O'Neil.
That's some true believer.
Yeah, he's missing an arm that's
Deep
like
cut.
metal, and he's missing an eye. So it's like a dog fighter that's like still
I
alive.
was just gonna say, how do you kill a Viltromite?
It's only another Viltromite
Has any
can do it.
Viltromite died in the series?
By
yet?
Viltrumites.
Yeah, in season 2, like when they're on the
Nolan
when they're on the
kills
planet,
him.
yeah.
Right? Yeah.
How so?
Chops their head off.
So you gotta decapitate.
Yeah, you can gut them.
You got
And
them.
they can die like a normal person, but you
But
have to be really
you gotta
strong to do
be,
it.
yeah.
So
So,
here-
it's only
yeah.
V on V, and that's how you.
And,
Okay.
and
I think Battle Beast gets one actually.
Yeah, Battle Beast does get some in on him. So the fight Conquest shows up. What was it that made New York like that? Like Invincible.
It was the Invincible War.
Oh, it was the
Yeah.
war. So the Invincible War just ended, and
So
he
it's
is
apocalyptic.
tired, and he's sitting in the middle of Manhattan, and then Conquest shows up, and he's like, "Dude, please, I can't do
like
this
Bane in
today."
Nightfall.
Yeah, exactly. And Conquest goes, "Well, that's too fucking bad because I love to fight. I love to fight. I got you for 3 minutes. 3 minutes of playtime." And then Kid Omni-Man's dumbass is watching this on the news, and he's like, "I gotta go help Mark." And Debbie's like, "Okay, but if he starts moving too fast, come back." Bad parenting move because Kid Omni-Man shows up. Mark is getting molly-whopped. He ain't getting a shot in. He's getting that shit. His ass just getting pounded, Larry. Corn on the cob, motherfucker. Bang, 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 bang. And Kid Omni-Man shows up, and Conquest goes, "Ooh, I love unaliving children," and he breaks his leg, breaks his arm, and then he's gonna pull him apart. He has him over his head, and he starts pulling him apart. And they're doing such a good job at this that you feel like you're watching somebody get pulled apart. Then Mark gets up and fights him, and then Conquest pretty much is that they have a fight that takes them all the way to a different part of the planet. And Conquest, Mark is about to die. Conquest reveals he's like, "I want to be so much more. I have so many great ideas. I'm capable of so much. Even my name, Conquest, they just look at me as a weapon. So take that with you when you die." Like, he cries, and he's being very vulnerable and like telling you like why he hates what he does because he wants to be something more. And Eve comes to help join the fight, and Conquest kills her. And there's a sort of a Dark Phoenix moment happens right before Conquest kills Mark, where Eve comes back and she has this giant force around her and she uses it to blast Conquest, and that's what kills him. And then Mark is like, where did that come from? And Eve is just like Jean Grey. She's like, when they were putting the powers in me, they put these mental blocks in so I wouldn't use my powers to full capacity, and unless in moments of dire restraint. So she's dead, and and she Dr. Manhattan, and then she's up there with Scarlet Witch of Manhattan, most powerful characters ever, and her and Mark. Finally a thing, finally an item. Kid Omni-Man, I think, has learned his lesson now and will start to listen to Mark and be a better hero. Yeah. Hopefully, who knows how he's going to grow up. I think his Debbie is his heart, so that's going to keep him, unlike, it's like the reverse Nolan, like she's as a pet. That's not even his mom. His mom was a bug.
Well, what did we always say about Superman? Like, what made...
That he was Jewish.
Well, yes, that is true, and now he's actually played by a Jew. Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster.
But they cursed all the Superman
They cursed
movies.
them. I'm sorry. What were they supposed to do? They were cheated out. I mean, I think they probably still made millions, but
they did not.
They didn't?
No, I watched the documentary. It was very sad.
Well, they were right
That's
to curse them.
That's why they wrote that letter cursing all Superman movies.
Yeah.
In cursive.
I'm pretty sure Bill Finger was Jewish, too, but...
did he create someone as well? That's a joke.
Oh my!
I know Ross Kane created Batman.
Yes.
Bane is the scariest guy I've ever seen in my life.
I'm scary when I blow up a toilet.
I went in there after him, and boy, was he stinky.
Shall I have the cut of the fish?
Any man who is too extreme for the League of Shadows bathroom is too extreme to be used in the Wayne Manor toilet. Also, we never said the words Catwoman once in this film. Continue.
Theatricality,
and deceptions are powerful tools for those who don't have a can of Febreze in their bathroom.
You merely started using Febreze.
You merely started using a bidet. I rinsed my mouth out with it.
How do I rinse my mouth with this mask on?
Carefully.
Rinsing with a bidet is incredibly painful.
I didn't have anything else on 3. I just...
Oh, right. Sorry. The Superman. Yeah. What I was going to say about
Superman,
that was what makes Superman Superman
is the S.
What?
The
is
S.
the S, though.
I'm autoing you.
It's okay. It isn't Jor-El, and it isn't Lara. It's Jonathan and Martha. Yeah. It's the human influence. That's why he's Superman, and that's why he's so much better adjusted than Batman is.
Right.
And that's what we're getting with Mark and Oliver. It's what's her face? Debbie.
Yeah, a little Debbie goes a long way.
Little Debbie. Yeah.
But Big that's what I was gonna say too. Like, just as a whole of the show, and like hearing what happens in 2 and 3 is upsetting. But
that's on you for not watching.
I'm gonna watch it. Watch it. I'm intrigued.
No, it doesn't.
4 is already coming out next year.
Yeah, so I'll catch up.
There's still moments that we didn't spoil.
Yeah. No, I'm sure. There's just in the season 1, I was like, I couldn't even get through it all. Say everything I want to say because it's just like there's so much, and there wasn't even that big of like the plot thickening yet. But anyway,
well, it's plot.
Yeah, it's a lot. Well, that's why I was like, I kind of had to like digest it after because so much happened and like. And then I started mixing it up with the other fucking shows. Yeah.
You're like, where's Tombstone?
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, didn't one of them join a gang? What happened to them?
She literally said that.
I was like, I was like, shit, I'm mixing up my shit.
And Batman is the one with...
Hang on. Who's super and who's bad?
I did say this in a clip, and so because the receipts are there, and so I need to stand by the statement, and I know this is an Invincible episode, but I said X-97 is better. I stand by it. I do think X-97 is better, but what I will say...
I think you're wrong.
Well, it sounds like even Rex said that in
Invincible did it for 3 seasons. X-97 has only done it for 1. So if X-97...
But they just got rid of their creator,
Yeah, but Bo DeMayo did write season 2. So at least it's still his material that's getting adapted.
Oh, okay. All right, that makes me feel better.
So let's see if Invincible can do... If X-97 can do it for seasons 2 and 3. Because if they can't... Because that's the thing that makes Invincible so good, that they did it for 3 seasons now.
Yeah, and they said they're going to 9.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Damn. I mean, it's a thick book.
Yeah, and that's only 1. I think there's 3 of those.
Is there, like, Do you think that the creators of X-97 are like kind of pooing their pants because they see Invincible and how they just brought
Well,
it
the creator of
every time?
X-97 got fired by Disney for having an OnlyFans account.
That's why he got fired? Oh.
What?
Yeah, and that,
Yeah, well, half the world will be employed.
yeah,
Unemployed.
yeah, it's that was his
What
new
world do
power.
you live in?
Woo! Who said that?
And I don't think that they're shitting themselves. It's like what I always say about Marvel and DC. They're happy when one is doing
Healthy
good
competition.
because it means people are still interested in it. And like
Yeah.
adults are
But
craving
level up.
adult animation. Animation is being made by people who hate animation, like that Mindy Kaling show or there's just so many animation shows that make fun of it. Like they're making fun of their audience. Like dog, like you watch Invincible, you watch Common Side Effects.
I was
You
just
Yeah.
gonna say
I'm
common
right,
side
exactly.
effects.
these people are. We're learning that. I think the writer's
Attack on
strike
Titan.
helped. Attack on Titan. The writer's strike helped, and people being more eagle-eyed about AI. Animation is such a beautiful art form that can tell so the potential for storytelling is limitless.
Well,
And-
yeah, and to your point earlier when you were saying you kind of felt it like he
Yeah.
was going to be ripped in half, like when I was watching it, I was like, I know I'm looking at a cartoon,
Yeah.
but I feel like I'm watching real live people.
Yeah. Yeah,
dude.
Like it's crazy how they like mind F you into being like
You were
this-
submerged.
Like
Yeah.
yeah,
You
like
liked
this world is like not only not real, obviously, but like you're so deep in it that now you are literally looking at like animated characters in a human form.
Yeah.
It was fun to see you react to that because it reminded me the first time I read Nightfall and when Bane broke his back, I was like maybe 13, 14. I was just sitting there reading it and then I just looked up and went, damn.
They
And then I was just sitting there and then I thought, wow, this is powerful that a piece of art was able to move me like this. And animation, something looked at as so childish and fragile. It's beautiful, and Invincible does it beautifully. Now, Shrek, you got to have good storytelling. I don't need no good animation without storytelling.
I've said the most human character in the history of television, the most emotionally complicated
Alf.
character is a talking horse. I think BoJack Horseman is the most
Yeah.
emotionally deep character that
I
I've
had to
ever
stop.
seen.
That show was holding up some mirrors to me.
Bruh.
That's-
that
yeah.
guy. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
That episode where he was at the funeral and he just talked the whole time and then it was the wrong funeral. That's one of the
So funny.
craziest episodes.
So good.
funny.
I didn't finish it because it was just hitting so hard. But my favorite quote from that show is Alison Brie saying, "There's no good people or bad people. There's just people who do good things or bad things." I love
Yeah.
that because that's what BoJack needed. to
That's
hear.
what BoJack needed.
Yeah.
It's got so many banger quotes. Like when he's trying to run, and the baboon says to him, he goes, it gets easier every day. He goes, every day it gets a little easier. He goes, but you have to do it every day. That's the hard part, but it does get easier.
Well, that's even with like this show. Like you can't really help the greater good without doing some bad.
And Mark, went through this traumatic event and he can't undo it. So what does he do? He's got to. He's just.
Yeah, you got to lean in,
you gotta
man.
just
There's no
upkeep
other
it.
option. Like
Yeah,
this is
you'd
the
be better
hand you
than
were
who you
dealt.
were yesterday.
Yeah. This whole show is so great too because it's just like it's riding on the morality train, and grappling with.
And not in a Zack Snyder way, in a relatable way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I feel like young adults, it's like morality we think about and where we're at in life and like how to get
Yeah.
ahead, how to stay behind, like and we're living that through Mark Grayson almost.
Well, that's also there's probably so much poured into it, like from personal experiences and stuff like that with the writers and everyone else. Like
Ryan
Robert.
Ridley wrote so many of them, and he was.
There's a
with the
lot of
writer.
writers.
Ryan
on this.
Ridley wrote for Invincible?
Yeah.
There's a lot. There was like 12 writers on
Yeah.
there when I
No
was
wonder
just
it's so funny.
Yo.
Coach Ferratu?
Yeah.
So,
Was he doing a
That's the
bit?
name. Was he doing a bit?
so freaking funny. But even to your point, the other day when we were watching Sopranos and you're like, they're actually like eating food in these scenes when they're like at meals or whatever. And it's like, because it's giving you like a humanistic relatability. It's like breaking the fourth wall without doing it in eye
Right.
contact.
I eat food,
It's doing
they
it
eat
like
food.
through the heart.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's subtext that I think is lost in a lot of media, like that Sludge movie that's out right now on Netflix with I think the Russo brothers did it with Chris Pratt and Millie
Oh,
Bobby
yeah,
Brown.
yeah.
Like just seeing just corporate bullshittery like this, which you kind of do. I mean, Marty was right when he said Marvel movies are roller coaster rides that are killing theaters, but theaters are responsible for that too, and so is streaming. But like when you get something like this that is in a genre that is pretty much you know how every story goes, and for it to be so nuanced and so different, and for it to be so popular, like I think that
it's
really
going
speaks
really
about-
outside the normal zones.
Yeah,
Like I'm so enthralled with it, and I didn't even. I would not even. I never heard of this dude.
You underestimate your powers, Luke. You've read over 40 books.
I know, but it just went in and out.
That's okay, Luke.
Like,
Well, it's yeah.
I'm not. You guys are so in it that like you can still remember and like call it back and like whatever.
You knew Peter Parker's from Forest Hills. You're,
Yeah, you know
you're
what? I'll
learning.
die on that forest hill. But like, it's cool that it's reaching, normal people. I guess.
Yeah, no.
People that
Yeah.
would never really even give it a chance. You know,
I
what
think
I mean?
it makes a case for animation to not die,
Yeah.
for normal people to watch it and go, oh, this is really cool for an anime show, because animation's dying. There's two types of animation. There's the 3D that they're making the SpongeBob movies out of,
Yeah.
and they said 2D, that doesn't sell, we're not going to make that anymore. You look at Invincible and you go, yes, it does.
Yeah, seriously. And that's why you got to love things like Invincible, like guys like Hayao Miyazaki, who's resisted this change for so long, who's like, fuck that, I'm going to
See
keep...
what he said about AI art?
What'd he say?
He was like, this is a front to humanity, and I feel personally insulted.
Good. Fuck yeah, love
I
me.
was personally victimized.
Dude, The Boy and the
Yeah.
Heron, which came out like
Yes.
2 years ago, I was fucking bawling my eyes
Boy
out.
and the Haran.
Run. I
That was a beautiful
want to.
movie. Yeah.
I want to watch that Flow movie that came out.
Yeah,
and won some
seriously.
awards.
Which
There's
one?
no dialogue. The entire movie.
Oh, I
Yeah,
heard
I
about
heard
no
it's great.
It's just animal noise, but like it's
Wallace
like
and Gromit.
dude,
The new
Wallace and who?
Gromit?
Gromit.
Whatever.
Wallace
Like
and
Cool Whip.
Grimace.
Cool Whip? Cool Whip. We're not doing this. The new one was tight as hell.
Fucking
I watched it on the
hell,
plane
it's
last
so
week. I
good.
love Wallace and
So good.
Yeah.
Gromit.
It's crazy that like I feel like
Whatever.
animated stuff always gets such a bad rep because it is so linked to like children and like just that kind of world of like Cartoon Network or just people's brains like I feel like automatically go
Well, you know-
to a kid place.
We grew up with the coolest cartoons, though. Now we're adults and we're the ones
Yeah,
making it. That's why
yeah.
our parents
Ed, Ed,
watch
and
like the
Eddie.
Justice
Johnny
Friends.
Bravo?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, Johnny Bravo, Mike Lewin, Codename Kids Next Door, SpongeBob's
Codename Kids Next Door was awesome.
There was a diversity of
Dude.
cartoons for us to watch.
Kurt's the
and-
Cowardly Dog.
That was a weird
Like,
show.
That terrified you, and he's
was
not even
terrifying.
saying anything.
Yeah,
The
no.
barber.
The things I do for love. Like
Eat flan, tussy flan.
Oh,
and
creepy.
and those kids, we grew up watching that, and we're making that now. And I think that's why animation is having the renaissance that it is, and comics as well. Like Ta-Nehisi Coates wrote a Captain America run where the head of Hydra was kind of Jordan Peterson, and like I'm like, this is really beautiful. I'm glad to it's good when. I hate hearing Frank Miller slander, though he is getting old and his work isn't what it used to be. I am glad that there is a doorway open for the new guys now, and
Totally.
and I don't know how this, 20 years after it got published, got picked up by Amazon and turned into a show. But I'm so grateful that it was. and
Yeah,
I'm
I was
hoping-
just gonna say what even brought it into the.
I don't know
forefront?
what made it, but like I hope we get more of this.
Let us
Comment
know.
side
Yeah.
effects. Let us know in the comments, please.
New
Yeah.
original stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what people are also craving.
Yes.
It's not another spin-off or
Yeah.
another prequel, sequel.
Give us
whatever.
more shit like Daniel Way's Hit Monkey.
Yeah.
that?
Oh,
It's
the
about
Hulu one.
Yeah, it's about a monkey that's an assassin.
What? Curious
Yeah.
George, but crazy.
Yeah, and Jason Sudeikis is in it.
Crazy dude.
Yeah,
It's-
you actually really like it.
It's
I've
based off
never
a
even
comic
heard
by
of it.
Daniel Way, who wrote that Venom book that we read.
Oh, okay.
And follow my character, Dr. Brentus Milo, at Animal Psychologist on Instagram because the web series is dropping soon. And
time I hear that
two
name.
people just, because I named him after him. It's the apish name I could think of.
That's so great.
But yeah, my final thought is Invincible is good.
Yes, is a great show.
Invincible's really good.
This is one of our longest ones, and rightfully
because it's well
so.
deserved.
Well, we did
Yeah.
we did the whole show.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I am excited for when season 4 comes out. We're gonna be covering that next. We're gonna be covering Daredevil, Born Again, baby.
Ooh, the
You're
devil
gonna
never
love
sleeps.
that. Oh, it's very good. Although Michael Gandolfini is no Jimmy.
Bad actor.
That's, hey, Brent said it, not me. And then after that, we're going to do each one of us will tell you 5 of our favorite Batman the Animated Series episodes. So please keep following along, true believers. We have Kirby tier dropping as well. Thank you for 35,000. Thank you for joining along with us. I have not been invincible. I've been quite vincible, but I'm still Troy, along with my main man, 10 grand. Sarge.
Benji.
Of course I know him. Brad B. Birnbaum. The B stands for blowjob. And Slater.
I'm gonna nut.
And Meg.
You're not a woman.